Hello, hi! I'm Kendall Gender from Season 2 of Canada's Drag Race, and you're watching After the Sashay on Xtra Magazine.
Hey Squirrel friends, this is Extra contributor Russ Martin, and you are watching Xtra Magazine's After the Sashay, Top 3 edition, and we have Kendall Gender! Kendall, congrats on Top 3. I want to know, what would being Canada's next drag superstar mean to you?
Oh, well, thank you so much for the congratulations. It has been such a crazy journey, so I appreciate that so much. For me, I feel like it would be such a cultivation of so many years of hard work. I have been hitting the ground running for many, many, many years in the Canadian drag scene. And for me, this would just be the absolute cherry on top to really take my, career and activism and everything that I do within my drag world and take it to the next level.
During this season, we got to see drag from all across the country, many different styles, types of people bringing their own identities and artistic choices. Where is drag in Canada headed?
Ooh, I think the thing about Canadian drag is that it really does vary from every city, which is so cool. I've been so lucky to kind of go to so many different cities throughout Canada, and every single one is so different, and they have their own hub and their own vibe. And I really think that the future of Canadian drag is just continuing on that path and being open to everything. Drag is for everyone, every sexuality, every gender, every body type, every skin color, absolutely everything. And I think that that's something that's so integral in Canadian culture in general. And I'm so glad that it is integrated into drag.
Well, you are one of the top 3, but I want to know, was there anyone from the cast that you were surprised isn't standing alongside you in the top 3?
Ooh, I think for all of us on the last episode, we definitely thought that it was going to be a top 4. So I was expecting my sister Geometric to be right there with us, for that top 4. But obviously, it's a reality show, honey, and we got to keep you on your toes, baby. So, it was a little bit, it was intense, but I think I would say Geometric was the one that I was expecting to be next to me.
Now, speaking of the Brat Pack, were you surprised that you were the Brat Pack member who made it the furthest?
Ooh, I know. Call me the Brat Pack Slayer. I think we all have so many different skills and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just happy to be able to carry the Brat Pack torch all the way to the end for all of us.
I want to know about the most famous person who has slid into your DMs, and tell me a little bit about your interaction with them.
Oh my gosh, my most famous DM. I feel like it's been cool, the people from the other Drag Race franchises that have messaged me. I think those are kind of the ones. I've gotten, follows and messages from Gigi Good and Taste and all these people that I have been watching on TV, and I'm like, how do you know who I am? Did you mean to follow Kendall Jenner and then somehow got to my page? But yeah, I think the Drag Race alumni has been the absolute coolest.
Now, speaking of the other Kendall, have you heard from any of the Kardashians or the Jenners?
No, I'm waiting for a cease and desist letter.
We got to see this really beautiful moment with you and your girlfriend, who is the artist Patch Alexander. And I saw recently that you had this beautiful post on Instagram about unapologetically loving trans women. What message do you have to share about the love that trans folks deserve? Patch has just taught me so much about my life and my sexuality and absolutely every single thing within that umbrella. And I think that something that kind of breaks my heart is we see so often with people that are, attracted to trans people, sometimes it can really be known as a secret. A lot of people, it's sort of brushed under the rug sometimes, and people are not always openly kind of proud of it, if you will. And for me, I never, ever, ever had that thought for 1 second in my mind. This is my partner. This is who I'm in love with, regardless of the fact that she is trans. I just love her for who she is. And I think that it's so important to remember that as people are experimenting in their sexuality or growing in their sexuality, that there has to be more equality on it. It does not need to be a secret. You know what I mean?
we all have different tastes and different things, and we have to remember that, like, it's important to love visibly, because the more visible that you are in every aspect of your life, the more, you know, appreciated everything can be.
Well, the relation seems like a beautiful one, and I loved seeing it on the show. Also, she just happens to be physically stunning.
Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I know. It was distracting when we were on the call because I was like...
You are an activist and you have raised a lot of money for charity. What's the next step for your activism now that you have this new, larger platform?
Absolutely. So for me, drag and activism have always gone hand in hand, like ever since day one. And for me, just getting this platform, regardless of obviously what happens on Thursday, I'm just so honored that I get to use my voice and use this body and you know what I mean, and drag and all this kind of fun stuff for the greater purpose, if you will. So what I want to do is just take these fundraisers on the road. You know, I've done a lot of them either online or just in Vancouver, and I just think it would be so cool to take these events and these fundraisers to different cities in Canada. And I think it's very important to bring that and to bring awareness to stuff like that. So I'm excited to hit the ground.
Great. Now, speaking of visibility, you started a show in Vancouver that is called Visible, that is made to showcase the work of visible minorities in the community. What was it like to take your passion for that representation and bring it to Canada's Drag Race?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, it's so integrally woven into who I am as a person. So for me, yeah, visibility is everything, whether it's, you know, about my relationship or my race or just drag in general. I love the idea of visibility, and that's why I started that show Visible, because I think it's very important to express yourself through that kind of visibility, because it kind of breaks down the walls, you know what I mean?
Now, she's also a movie star. You are the lead in a movie called Stay. What can you tell me about it?
Ooh, so this will be my first film project in drag in like a speaking role, which is really cool. The story is about a traveling drag queen who basically meets someone in the club, and they're sort of one night stand of sorts that possibly could turn into something more. And it's a really cool, interesting story because you don't always see the romantic side of dating a drag queen, and it's a really, really, really cool story, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
I have one more question for you. You got called both Drake and Jay-Z while on the show. But if Kendall had a rap alter ego, what would her name be?
Kenny Jen. The Drake one, I can't unsee it. I literally can't unsee it. And like, Drake, baby, if you are watching this, please let me put you in drag, because I really want to see if there's a resemblance there. If you're down, I'm down. Thanks for watching Xtra Magazine's After the Sashay. You can find me at Kendall Gender on all social media platforms.